Hello everyone. I've been playing Age of Empires 2 since the Conqueror expansion first came out in the early 2000s. I've never really been very good at the game, but the depth of the game has always fascinated me. Here on YouTube I love watching videos by T90 and Spirit of the Law, so I've decided to dive into the mechanics of it a bit, make a few of my own videos, specifically on niche topics that I find interesting. Starting with this video, I'm going to dive into the shared unique units. The unique units that can be used by every civilization on the same team to see what type of synergy we can develop between unique units, civilization bonuses, and unique techs. Today we're focusing on the Condottiero to see exactly how good we can make a single unit by using the unique civilization bonuses and technologies. Down the road I'm also going to make a video on the Genitor, the Imperial Skirmisher, and potentially the Kipchak mercenaries, although other YouTubers have already covered this in depth, and they're a little bit more situational because you can only make a limited number of them. Starting today with the Condottiero. The Condo is a barracks infantry unit that cannot be upgraded. It has 80 HP, 10 melee attack, 1 melee armor, and 0 pierce armor. It also has a bonus of 2 extra damage against buildings and 10 extra damage against gunpowder units. It also appears to negate some of the bonus damage that hand cannoneers normally do to infantry. So his big shield actually does something, despite the fact that it doesn't give him any armor and he can't block with it. So let's break this down into 2 phases. First, using the Condo as a general infantry unit. Basically a champion substitute for civilizations that either don't get the champion or that don't want to pay into using it because it has very high research requirements. So as soon as you get to Imperial Age, if you're allied with Italians, you can make the Condo. And sometimes that's the better option for cleaning up trash, ground versus ground fights, or if you need to counter gunpowder really quickly. And then, of course, we'll also look at it in a specific role as an anti-gunpowder unit. So let's go ahead and get started. Looking at the civilization bonuses that can be applied to the Condo, there are a few that directly benefit it. The Japanese Condottiero can attack 33% faster. The Aztec Condo, once Garland Wars is researched, gets 4 extra attack power. The Viking Condottieros have 20% extra HP, and they do 5 additional melee damage to cavalry only. The Teutonic Condos have 2 extra melee armor, and the Slav Condos do splash damage, also referred to sometimes as trample damage, though I find this to be a little bit misleading because they're not really trampling over anything. There's a few smaller bonuses as well. The Malians get extra pierce armor. We're not really going to dive into this because it's not really applicable to the ground versus ground fights unless you're using them to like attack towers and castles, or using them as a as an anti-archer situation. That's not really going to help you too much, and they cut through gunpowder units so quickly that you're rarely going to see the extra pierce armor benefit you in that type of fight, at least when stacked on top of all the blacksmith technologies that you already get. The Burmese get an attack bonus as well, but it sucks. So we're really not going to look into it. I think it caps out at +2, maybe +3. It's definitely not the +4 that the Aztecs get. So, starting with the Japanese and the Aztecs, these are generally the best 2 offensive infantry bonuses. I ran a fight between them numerous times, and the Aztecs seem to win almost every time. Not every single one of them, particularly in a group fight. If the Japanese get the first hits in and even eliminate 1 or 2 units before they can attack, then the Japanese are going to win it, because each of these fights is very close. One-on-one, the Aztec will beat the Japanese pretty much every single time. But in a group fight, that can definitely go either way. Slow and steady does appear to win the race here. One-on-one, brute force is going to win over attacking quickly. So for the rest of the comparisons, we're going to use the Aztec as our gold standard. When you place the Aztec Condo up against the Teutons, who have extra defense, the Teutons still lose this fight. You're comparing a bonus of 2 extra defense versus 4 extra attack. The 4 extra attack is the advantage here. If for some reason you're facing Aztec Condottieros as the Teutons, It would definitely be better to counter with your Teutonic Knights, who have absurd amounts of melee armor. I think it's something like 15. It's ridiculous. The Teutonic Knights easily will win against any other infantry unit that does not have bonus damage, such as the Samurai. So this is definitely going to be best to counter with the Teutonic Knights, not your own condos. One I'm really surprised didn't win is the Vikings. The Vikings get 20% extra HP. The Aztecs have 4 extra attack and will chew through that 20% HP, and the Aztecs are going to come out on top every time. This is specifically for infantry fights. The Viking Condo is probably the best unit when it comes to versatility and fighting anything else, with that extra survivability and the extra damage against cavalry. Anyways, moving on to the Condottiero's intended role as an anti-gunpowder unit. In this role, the best civilization is by far the Vikings. When you're fighting other gunpowder units, the condos get plus 10 damage no matter what. So they're always going to do plus 10. Even if you don't have any other damage bonuses, you're going to be doing plus 10. So the plus 4 damage from the Aztec Garland Wars isn't really that big of a contributing factor when you're already doing plus 10 damage. The difference between plus 0 and plus 4 is a lot more significant than the difference between plus 10 and plus 14 when you're talking about percentages. It's very normal for Condottieros from all civs, once they're maxed out with blacksmith techs, to be killing hand cannoneers in as little as 2 hits. So if you're going to be able to kill them in 2 hits, it doesn't really matter if you add extra overkill to that. The extra HP is going to come out on top. Viking staying power is definitely what matters here. It should also be noted that the 5 extra attack against cavalry combined with that extra HP and the bonus damage against gunpowder units makes the Condottiero extremely lethal against Spanish civilizations as a whole. The missionary, the conquistadors, all of these are cavalry units, so when you're adding bonus damage to gunpowder, which the Spanish focus on, and bonus damage to cavalry, you're going to run conquistadors out of the area, you're going to run missionaries out of the area. They are going to be terrified of you because you will take very little damage from them, and you're going to damage them quite a bit. Throw in some spears in there and you can completely wipe out Spanish, unless they counter with something completely unexpected like villagers with supremacy. Oh god. In a historical sense, not that it makes any sense for the Aztec to have Condottieros or be slaughtering gunpowder units in the first place, but if there was that case, it would not make sense for the Aztec to be the best, I guess, so we'll hand this over to the Vikings. It also doesn't make sense for the Vikings because the Vikings were pretty much destroyed by missionaries. Their entire civilization was basically wiped out by replacing their religion with Christianity. So, either way, it doesn't make historical sense when we have the 2 strongest anti-gunpowder civilizations being these weird Italian Aztec combinations and this Italian Viking combination. I'm really trying to think what a Italian Viking or Italian Aztec might look like historically, and it doesn't really make a lot of sense either way. This is just for laughs. It's not meant to be taken seriously. The chances of this coming up in an actual game are pretty niche, but I do like examining the individual civilization bonuses, stacking them on top of each other, and seeing what we can come up with. So that's why I made it. This video. That's it for today. I hope you enjoyed it. This is well outside of my normal content. I really haven't made videos in a while, so let me know if you enjoyed this, and I might make a few more of them. Thanks.